Hey, how you doing today, guys? Welcome back to another day of actually A-grade math, because today we're gonna be looking at some A-grade material. Now, before we start, I would like to invite you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. If you haven't seen my other channel, MTV Alex, I'll leave a link for you, a card over here, so make sure you check that one out and subscribe as well. If you want to support this channel, link down in the description. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're about to do. I'm gonna do a few examples of these things, and as you are able to read right now, we're gonna be talking about surface area. Now, surface area is something that we did in 7th grade as well, but now we're gonna do it in 8th grade, but we're gonna do it a little bit different. We're gonna be doing it using a formula, because yes, now in 8th grade, we have calculators and we have formulas, different formulas for this type of, actually formulas for these problems. So if you look at our 7th grade reference materials, we have formulas for surface area. Before, we did not have formulas for surface area. We only had the formulas for volume. And as we can see right here, we're looking at prisms and cylinders. Cylinder is something like a can. And now we have not just surface area, we have lateral and total surface area. So there's two different things that we need to find, either lateral or total surface area. And basically, if you find the lateral, you just add something else to find the total surface area. Now, why would I want to find just the lateral and not the total? Let me give you an example. For example, if you're gonna paint the walls of a room, you're gonna paint 4 walls on a room. If you're gonna paint your room, do you usually paint your floor and your ceiling? No, right? You usually don't paint those. So basically, you're just finding the area for the walls. That's an example of lateral surface area. Another thing, and in the other case, total surface area, like for example, you have a shoebox and you're gonna put a gift in there and you're gonna wrap it. Whenever you wrap a gift, you wrap the whole box, not just the sides, right? So that's an example of total surface area. How much paper do I need to wrap this thing? Same thing with the cylinder, lateral surface area. If you have a can, and I do not have a can for an example, but oh look, right here. This is not a can, this is a prism. So lateral surface area, let's look at this box for example, if I can get it out. Look at this right here. So this one does not have anything right here at the bottom or at the top. So this is the lateral surface area. So for a prism, you will use S equals PH. Uppercase P stands for perimeter of the base. Perimeter of the base. Just like before, uppercase B stands for area of the base. Uppercase P stands for perimeter of the base. So you're gonna have to find the perimeter and multiply by the height. That's how you find it. Now, the lateral surface area on a can is a little bit different, because if you have a can, something like this, like let's say a bean can, something like that, the label is just around this face right here, right? The circular face around this thing. But you don't have a label on the bottom or on the top, so that will be the lateral surface area. Now, if you're gonna cover the top and the bottom, then you will use the other formula. So those are the two differences. So with those formulas, we're gonna write them down on the paper and a little bit on the next page and go from there. All right, so to find the lateral surface area, I'm just gonna label that LSA. LSA equals, and this is for a prism, is uppercase P times the height. And the total surface area, I'm gonna call it TSA, is gonna be the lateral surface area, which is PH, plus 2 times uppercase B. That stands for 2 times the base. So basically, if you have a box, you have 2 bases, one at the bottom and one at the top. That's why there's the number 2 right there. So let's look up, for example, number 1. And number 1 is a cube, and I know it's a cube because all the cubes, all the sides are the same. So if I want to find the lateral surface area, just the sides. So that means, and look at this, they highlight or they kind of grade out the base right here. They're telling you that this is the base right there. Therefore, the top is also the base. But if you want to find just the lateral surface area, then you're going to find all the other ones and not that one. We're going to find both. So over here, we're also going to find lateral surface area. So the lateral surface area, we're going to use the pH, the perimeter times the height. So this is what you need to do. Every time you have a surface area problem, what I want you to do is actually draw the base on the side. And in this case, it's going to be very simple because, like I said, this is already grayed out. So if you draw this on the side, you have to label it. This is 5 and this is 5. They're inches. You're going to use this to find P and uppercase B. Okay? To find the perimeter, all you have to do is add all the sides. And on a square, all the sides are the same. So perimeter is going to be 4 times 5, or 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 20. So uppercase P is going to be 20. Now we can go ahead and find the base as well. And this is going to be very simple. Again, to find uppercase B, remember, that's just the area of this shape right here, which is base times height, which is 5 times 5, which is 25. So now I know that P equals 20 and B equals 25. So far, so good? Any questions so far? If you do have any questions, please write them on the comments below. Write the number that you have in questions in and the question following that. That way I can come back and help you when I read the comments. Okay, so LSA is just pH. Okay, so let's look at that. LSA is just pH. I know P right there is 20 times the height, and the height is going to be the height of the prism. We already used the 5 and the 5, so my height has to be that one. So 20 times 5 is 100 inches square. We're talking about area, so it has to be square. Now, that's just the lateral surface area, so that's not gonna cover the top and the bottom. It's just like painting a room. You're just painting the walls. You're not painting the floor or the ceiling. Now for the total surface area, total is going to be pH plus 2B. Right? That's the formula. pH plus 2B. Now if we look at this closely, pH is 100, correct? We already found it. That's pH right there. So we can just go ahead and substitute that. So I'm going to do 100 plus 2 times the base. 2B right there. Well, I know 1B is 25. So 2 times 25, which is how much? 2 times 25 gives me 50 plus 100. The total surface area is 150 inches squared. Total surface area. Now in a cube, it's not that hard because the way we did it in 7th grade, you just find the area for one of them. And if you need to find the area for the whole thing, there's 6 sides. So all you have to do is multiply that times 6. And that's it, right? 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 6 is 150. Same answer. Now, when it comes interesting is when you actually have a box. Let's look at this one. First, let's find the lateral surface area. Lateral surface area equals pH. The first thing that I want you to do is draw the base on the side. And this is the base is already grayed out. And I'm going to label it 11 and 7. They're inches, okay? So for this, I'm gonna find P and B, the perimeter and the area of the base. The perimeter is easy. It's 11 plus 11 plus 7 plus 7, right? Because if this is 11 at the bottom, then this is 11. It's a rectangle, right? If that's 7, this is also 7. When you add that 11 and 11, you get 22 plus 14. And when you add that, how much is that? 36. So the perimeter is 36 inches. So that's the first thing you do. You find the perimeter and you find the area of the base. For the area of the base, it's easier because it's just base times height, which is 11 times 7, which is 77 inches squared. Now I know the numbers that I have to work on my formulas. For my LSA, my lateral surface area is just P, which is 36. Now look at this. What numbers I have already used? Well, I used the 11 and the 7. So that means the depth of my box is going to be 5. Right there. And to find the lateral surface area, all I got to do is multiply 36 times 5. And when I multiply 36 times 5, I get 180. And that's just the outside, like the box that I just showed you that didn't have the covers at the end, right? Or like painting the rooms, I mean the walls inside a room. That's the lateral surface area, 180 inches squared. Now to find the total surface area, we're gonna do pH plus 2 times the area of the base. Well, I already know pH. pH is 180. So this is going to be 180 plus 2 times the base, right? Which is 2 times 77. And 2 times 77 gives me 154. So my total surface area is going to be 180 plus 154. And when I add those two, I get 334 inches squared. This is my total surface area. Are there any questions so far? Now I'm gonna do a triangular prism because it's gonna be the same formula. Same formulas. Let's look at, for example, number 5. Number 5, we have my base is a right triangle, and this is very important. It is very important to recognize that it is a right triangle, because if it's not a right triangle, you're gonna need another number that is not listed in there. And whenever we go deeper into 8th grade, if that number is not given to you, you will be able to find it using the Pythagorean theorem. So that's my base. So I'm gonna draw this on the side. So if I know it's a right triangle because I have the little square right there. So basically, if I flipped it and draw this, this is 3 and this is 3. That's a right triangle. My base is 3 and my height is 3, correct? It's very important to recognize that. So again, we're gonna find P and B. The perimeter is going to be what? Well, we're gonna assume this is 3. We're gonna assume that one is 3 because it's not given to you. We're gonna assume it's 3. But let's see. 3, 9 plus 9 square root. It's actually 4.24. This length right here is 4.24. And this is what I was telling you about using the Pythagorean theorem. That's just gonna go deeper into that. I'm not gonna cover that in this video. So we're just gonna pretend that it's also 3, okay? We're gonna pretend that it's also 3. We're gonna cover quadratic later on. So, to find the perimeter, that's just 9, right? You just add the 3 sides. And to find the area of the base, is base times height divided by 2, which is 3 times 3 divided by 2. 3 times 3 is 9, divided by 2 is 4.5. Then this is inches squared, and this is just inches. Now we're gonna use the same formula for lateral surface area. LSA equals PH. And we're gonna come back to the prism and see, well, what numbers have I already used, and we're gonna mark them off. I already used the 3 and the 3, so that means that my height is gonna be 6, and it matches because my height is the distance between the 2 bases. We covered this in 7th grade, right? My height is the distance between the 2 bases. So we're just gonna multiply that. So the perimeter is 9, and the height is 6. 9 times 6 is 54 inches squared. So basically for this, what I just found are the rectangles. I did not cover the triangles. So if I'm gonna wrap this in wrapping paper, I'm just gonna wrap the rectangles and not the triangles. That's the lateral surface area. Now, to find the total surface area, I'm gonna use PH plus 2B. Well, I already know PH. PH is just 54 plus 2 times the base. I already know that. That's how much? 4.5. Well, that's just 9 plus 54, which gives me 63 inches squared. And that's it. Now I'm gonna do another triangular prism just because, and I'm just gonna find the total surface area. When you find the total surface area, you already finding the lateral without even knowing. Well, you might know. If you find the total surface area straight up to total surface area, in the process, you will find the lateral as well. Let me show you. This is not a right triangle. My base is gonna be right here. The base is a triangular prism, therefore, this is my base as well as this. Okay? So total surface area is PH plus 2B. We're gonna draw the base on the side and find the perimeter and the area. So right here, this is 6, this is 5, and they have a line right here. Do you see this? They have this line over here, and they're telling me that this is 4. Now, this is what type of triangle is this? If this is 5 right here, that means that this is also 5. Isosceles triangle, right? 2 sides are the same. To find the perimeter is very simple. All I gotta do is add the outside, right? Which is 5 plus 5 plus 6, which is 16. Easy, right? Now to find B, I'm gonna do base times height divided by 2. Oh, what am I gonna use, mister? There's too many numbers now. If you notice, this line is how tall that is. Remember, to find the height of the shape is from the center to the tallest part. So the height is actually gonna be, this height is gonna be that one right there. This height is going to be this one right there, the height of the base. I'm only talking about the base. So this is gonna be 6 times 4 divided by 2, which is 24 divided by 2. So big B is 12. Now all I gotta do is substitute these values back into the formula. So instead of P, I'm gonna use 16 Now, what numbers have I used? Well, I already used the 6, I already used the 5, I already used the 4. The only one that I have not used is the 12. So that must be right here, this edge right here, the height of the prism. So 16 times 12 plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 12. When I multiply 16 times 12, I get 192 plus 24, which gives me 216 units squared. That's the total surface area. Mister, how can I find the lateral surface area from it? Well, if I remember, lateral surface area is just pH, right? Which is this part right here, which is right there. That's the lateral surface area. All right, so I leave a few more problems for you to work on. All right, well, that's gonna be it for today. If you learned something today, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to comment and share with somebody else who needs this information. If you know another method of doing this same type of problems, please leave them down in the comments below. I'm curious to hear what you know how to do. And other than that, if you haven't, please subscribe, check out my other channel. That's gonna be it for this one, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.